Hi, I'm Cory, Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. And folks, today, something super exciting for you. We're going to take a look at the brand new Entegra Coach Embark. Now, this is an industry first motorhome built on an electric chassis. Now, this chassis does have a powered range extender. We'll get into all those details here in a moment, but let me give you a little bit of the background of this motorhome. It was a couple years ago, we knew that CARB and EPA standards were changing and that we were going to have to get into the electric chassis motorhome game at some point. So we did our research. We checked out a handful of chassis manufacturers and we ran into numerous problems. Some manufacturers would not allow us to pull from the electric lithium battery packs on the chassis. Other units just wouldn't go as far. And so we came into contact with a manufacturer called Harbinger. Harbinger is based out in California, and folks, they have built a great chassis. We've been working with them hand in hand in developing how this motorhome interacts with the chassis, and I really think it's a winner. So this chassis is a 22,000 pound chassis with a 208-inch wheelbase. It has 140 kilowatts of lithium on board, and that's spread out over 4 batteries. The range on that alone, if we're only running on the 140 kilowatt lithium system, is approximately 105 miles. Now understand that is dependent upon range, weather conditions, how heavy your foot is, etc., etc. Now, this also has a gasoline powered range extender on it. So the range on an electric alone is about 105 miles. And then if I utilize the range extender on this chassis, I get approximately 450 miles of travel time. And folks, that is a lot. We know that RVing, you're not just going 50 miles or maybe only 100 miles. But that gasoline powered range extender really boosts these lithium batteries to give you the range that you need. The chassis, as I mentioned, it is developed by Harbinger. It's out in California. They have a number of service facilities across the United States currently, and their goal as a chassis manufacturer, as they've studied the headaches of the RV industry, is that turnaround service time is extremely quick. They've quoted numbers such as 48 hours or 72 hours at the most. Their goal is to keep you on the road. So for us as a manufacturer building this high-end motorhome, we want you to be able to utilize it if you're going to be buying it. So absolutely incredible system. It does operate off of fast charging, fast chargers, and going from approximately 20% to 90%, you're at about an hour. And so you do get a lot of range when you stop for fast charging. Now folks, that's perfect. So you can run into your favorite restaurant, you can grab a bite to eat, and then you're off on your journey again. So a lot to love about this chassis. The fuel tank on it, as I mentioned, is 50 gallons. It's extremely fuel efficient. So compared to the Ford F53 chassis, which is your traditional gas class A, you are extremely fuel efficient on this. You're at least a third more efficient than what that F53 chassis is. So absolutely incredible chassis. There's a lot to love about this. Let's walk around this motorhome and see what it's all about. Alrighty, now the beauty of this motorhome honestly is not only the chassis, but it's everything we built on this Entegra Coach Embark that we're getting ready to talk through. Let me talk about some of the details of this motorhome, some of the logistics, specifics, if you will. The roof is a full one-piece fiberglass roof. It is crowned in the center at 5 inches. Also on that roof, we have 2 15,000 BTU air conditioners, with the front one having a heat pump as well. And then on the roof, a WineGuard 2.0 Connect. That WineGuard 2.0 Connect functions as a 4G LTE hotspot and then also a Wi-Fi range extender. So that hotspot is a paid subscription through WineGuard or one of your cell phone providers, and then also that Wi-Fi range extender, that's a free feature. So if you're parked outside of your favorite coffee shop, it has a weak Wi-Fi signal, the antennas in that WineGuard will grab it, amplify it inside of your coach, and then you'll have a hotspot to be able to use for your daily business or to play your favorite games that you're streaming. So that is the roof of this coach. A common question we do have is there solar on the roof of this coach? And let me tell you, there's not. We were wrestling with, do we add solar, do we not add solar? And folks, if you're familiar with kilowatts, then this is gonna make sense to you. If not, it may not make sense. As I already mentioned, this chassis has a 140 kilowatt hour battery pack. So 4 batteries totaling 140 kilowatts. The largest amount of solar that we'd be able to get on the roof of this unit is about 1,000 watts. So what that means is in 1 hour time, perfect sun, you're probably down in Arizona, you can get 1,000 watts of power per hour. And so peak sun is generally 5 to 6 hours a day. So if let's just use that math, 5 to 6 hours a day, 1,000 watts worth of solar on the roof, it's going to take you approximately 28 days to charge this chassis. Now that's from 0 up to 100. So that's why I say solar just doesn't make sense on this style of a motorhome, because we have a large lithium system and really the solar wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket at that. So that's the roof of this coach. Let's talk about some of the glorious things about the exterior of this coach. As you can notice, we do have full body paint on this Entegra Coach. Embark is standard, very sleek, very beautiful. 3 coats of clear coat on that. It'll look like this in 10 years from now if you keep it as good as you do your car and truck at home. As we come back, you're going to notice the side-mounted overhead side mirrors. With that, we've lifted them up out of the way, and then you'll have a clear line of sight down the side of this coach. And as I'm talking about that, let me tell you, this is a prototype for us. We are making some revisions. We released this in August down in Dallas at our dealer homecoming event, and we know right away those mirrors will be changing, but it'll be the exact same style, but we're going to move them forward a little bit so you do have better visibility, because right now the window frame actually obscures some of that vision. So some of the things you're seeing on this coach will be changing. I'll try to point those out as we go down if I remember. If not, just give me some grace and say, he talked about it and I understand some things will change. The overhead European style mirrors coming down. This is a compartment that you're able to access some of the batteries for the chassis, specifically the 12-volt system that is used within this chassis. Coming back one more, we do have a generous sized storage compartment. You'll notice that these are very thick side hinged bus style baggage doors with metal slam latches. This is lined with a rubber diamond tread material, so the great thing about that is that you can wash it out, clean it, very easy. You'll notice behind me these windows. These windows are frameless windows, and hopefully you can see we do have the night shades closed. There is a metallic lining on the outside of those shades to be able to block the UV rays and also keep the inside of your coach cooler. Also, they do help with insulation, and you'll be able to keep the inside of your coach warmer during those cooler months that you're going to be using this. Coming down the side of the coach more, you can see we have an integrated step. Absolutely beautiful. We wanted to have the aesthetic appearance be beautiful, but then also, you may or may not know, tucking this in and up, we are able to extend our range. So as we were developing this chassis, whether it's the front cap, integrating the stairs into the sidewall, the rear cap, the roof, etc., we designed it intentionally focusing on the range of this coach. You know, ideally on gas-powered units like our F53 chassis or our E450 chassis, we'd be doing that as well to be able to give you as much range as possible. But when you're talking about a lithium unit, that's when range really comes into play, because nobody wants to worry about range anxiety. Thus, the gasoline-powered range extender really helps with that. But in the design of this, making it as aerodynamic and smooth as possible, we did send our CAD data off to a third-party company that they were able to analyze where the drag on this coach would be, how wind efficient this coach would be. And so in reality, even though this coach is a little bit over 31 feet long and about 101 inches wide, it is very, very aerodynamic, and that was all on purpose. So integrated steps into the side. When I open the door, they do fold down. Right behind the rear steps, we have another smaller baggage compartment. Coming back just a little bit further, you'll notice another baggage compartment. And now, folks, one of the reasons this motorhome really shines, and our dealers and then also early retail customers who have caught eyes on this have loved it, is the incredible storage in the back. And there again, this storage has been thoughtfully designed. You'll notice that we do have molly panels with movable baskets that can either stay installed or be uninstalled. Totally your call. We didn't want to create just a large cavity and make it a junk collector. We wanted it to be as storable as possible within this. So the MOLLE panels, you'll notice that this basket does easily remove, and I can utilize this MOLLE panel if I just want to strap components to that, or maybe I want to use the organizational aspect. These go in very nicely and just lock into place. Also, you'll notice that we do have L-tracks on the floor to be able to tie things down. You may wonder what this very large box is here. That is where we have the range extender at currently. And so back here we have 12 volt, 120 volts overhead lighting. And not only is it accessible from the side, but it's accessible from the rear of the coach, and I'll show you that here in a moment. But as I mentioned, we tried to think through this as thoughtfully as possible for the end user. And so we think with this design, the initial design, we've done a great job. The changes that we will make will be icing on the cake. So it's been a look at the camp side of the coach. Let's check out the rear of the coach. Alrighty, so here we are on the rear of the coach, and as you'll notice the beautiful Entegra Coach overhead. As I mentioned, this is the Entegra Coach Embark that's on the Harbinger electric chassis with a range extender integrated into that chassis. So some of the things I want to talk about here, as I mentioned on the side of the coach, that there is massive storage in the rear of this coach. Here you can see the MOLLE panels, you can see the baskets in there. Overhead there is a rear backup camera. Down below we do have rear parking sensors as well. So great thing about this chassis is we have both front and rear parking sensors. So a lot of you folks are used to these on your vehicles. Really, in the age of the industry we are in today, the RV industry, there's not a lot of units that have those safety features. We've added them to this coach because we know that you'll definitely appreciate it moving this unit around. We also have our third integrated brake light. That's a hallmark that we do here at Entegra Coach, just so that whoever's traveling behind you will be able to see 100% visibility when you're tapping those brakes. One thing I want to point out as well, we do have on our rear fiberglass cap, down below we have a removable panel. At this point, Harbinger does not have this chassis set up to receive a hitch receiver. That is forthcoming, but we did design this rear cap around the fact that you may want to tow, and if you do tow, we have a removable panel down below once they have that hitch receiver on there. So let's spend a look at the rear of the coach. As I mentioned, this does have a full rear cap. Absolutely beautiful. Team did a great job. Let's check out the off-camp side. So we are on the off-camp side now. A couple things I want to point out to you. As I mentioned, that large pass-through storage. Plenty of room to put a lot of your toys, odds and ends, kayaks, bikes, etc., whatever you want to take with you on this trip. We go back a little bit further. We have the 60,000 BTU on-demand hot water heater. So what I love about this is when I'm using the hot water, that's when it fires. This does have it runs off of propane. It's a 56-pound fixed propane tank. And folks, this hot water heater just uses just a little bit of propane. On this coach, there's going to be two things that utilize propane. One is this hot water heater, and then the other is the 30,000 BTU furnace. So if you're using this in cold climates, you'll be utilizing your hot water heater and your furnace with that 56-pound propane tank. Also need to mention to you that it does have a 40-gallon gray tank, a 40-gallon black tank, and both of those do have 12-volt tank pad heaters on them. It also has a very large 53-gallon freshwater tank, and that is going to be enclosed underneath your bed. So plenty of water usage for you inside of this coach. With that, powered with a shower miser, and I'll show you that in a moment and talk about it in a moment, your camping can be a long-term experience in this. You don't always have to go and refill with water. As we come back to the coach a little bit more, you'll notice our Nautilus water system. What I love about this is it's very clearly labeled, identified, so that you'll know how to winterize it if you want to winterize it, how to use your city water fill, your freshwater tank fill, etc. So very clearly laid out. This bay is just strictly to access one of your dump valves. So that's going to be inside this compartment. And then coming further up the coach, I want to point out this little door to you. This little door to you is going to be where you do your fast charging at. Also on this prototype, just as a heads up, Harbinger has a off-boarding of power. So you'll see some of the new vehicles today, the advertisements on television are that if your house runs out of power because a storm knocks down a power pole or something, you can utilize your vehicle to power your house. This chassis is designed that way as well. But please note, in the first number that we do build, we will not be utilizing that, simply because we know that in the use application that we're building, these initial ones, that the customer does not want the ability to offboard power. So on these initial ones, you will not be able to offboard power, but this will still be where your fast charging is. You'll notice another termination down below for your tanks. We come in, we do have a small storage compartment here. Very nice size to be able to roll your power cord up in if you'd like, your 50 amp shore power cord. This is a 50 amp coach. When I say 50 amp coach, that's the house portion of it that we've built. This is an 800 volt chassis. So we're talking two different things here. We've already referenced the chassis, just talking about the house now. Coming back one more, as I mentioned, this is your 56 pound LP tank, your 30,000 BTU furnace above. This is going to be where we house our inverter at. Some of this area will be changing, just to give you a heads up. We will be moving some other electrical components into this bay, and then this will be where our hydraulic leveling jack pump is at. But as you've noticed as we come down the coach, the sleekness, the beauty of this coach on this side, designed for the aerodynamic aspect of it. Absolutely beautiful. Let's go inside and check out the beauty of the inside. Alrighty, so we are inside the Entegra Coach Embark, and folks, like I said, absolutely beautiful. As I mentioned, we released this in August at our dealer homecoming. Dealers saw it once again in September. We've had a lot of media companies come through this unit, whether it's magazines, it could be television, being that it's the first of the kind, and folks love the interior of this. This is a unique build than how we normally build our motorhomes. A lot of it has to do with just, it is the next generation of a motorhome. And so some of the things I want to talk about that, as I mentioned, some things will be changing. I'll try to point those out. But as we talk about the front end of this coach, we wanted to stick with our 120-inch diagonal windshield. So at Entegra Coach, all of our Class A motorhomes have a 120-inch diagonal windshield. Folks, that is for visibility, safety aspects, and then also to give you an HD view going down the road. So we carried it over into this Embark. This coach does have a 90-inch tall ceiling, and so as you walk around, it does feel very large inside. Now, this dash, we're doing a redesign of the dash. One of the things that we found is this chassis sits differently than the other brand of Gas A chassis that we use. And so as a result, we are making modifications to this dash. We are lowering it, slimming it down, making it appear to be a little sleeker. Your center stack will be turned more towards the driver, so it's driver-centric. Still staying with the large Sony infotainment unit that you'll see behind me, but just a redesign to give it a sleeker look, but then also to increase the visibility out the front of this coach. Now, we will be optioning a drop-down front overhead bunk. It's going to be unlike other bunks that we have built in the past. Our standard overhead bunk is just flat, powers down, powers up. The new one that we are designing and working on, it will kind of be minimalistic in that, trying to give as much headroom as possible. A lot of clean lines on the inside of this coach. It'll be clean lines as well. It'll be actually angled down from rear down to front, so that it does open up your headroom as you're standing in this area. But want to point that out to you. This dash does have 3 wireless charging locations currently for the phone. It will continue to have 3. We have USB-A, USB-C up here as well. So a lot of capabilities on charging. We have JBL speakers up front for your driving experience. And then as we come back into the main living area of the coach, you'll notice these beautiful sconce lights. These are not just decorative sconce lights. They are also JBL speakers as well. We worked with a local company to develop these, and gives a lot of visual appeal, but then also just that premium audio experience in your living area that is coupled with a JBL Aura Cube. So that Aura Cube, I can stream to it. So my favorite music streaming, if I'd like to stream to that, it also plays your television as well. So great audio experience up front. You will notice on the inside, these walls are vastly different than we have on any of our other coaches. These are specifically designed to give more acoustical and thermal insulation inside of this coach. Now, as I mentioned, this is an electric chassis. So as a result, it is a premium driving experience over any of the other chassis that we do build. As I have driven this around, this coach currently has 1,676 miles on it. As we've driven this around, it is a very quiet driving experience. And so we not only wanted to couple the chassis quietness with just quietness in general, we wanted to make sure that it spilled back into the living area of this coach as well. So thoughtfully designed, like I said, with these interior wall panels to dampen noise and also provide that thermal insulation. Overhead, a very large skylight. We have one in the main living area and then one in the bathroom as well. What I love about this skylight is the fact that it darkens, but then it also has a day shade, and then I can prop it up if I want to get ventilation. You'll notice that all of our windows are trimmed out with that wall material, and then also these windows do tilt out, giving you approximately 8 inches of ventilation per window. This television is on a power lift. So this is a 39-inch television. I'm not going to take it all the way up just for the sake of time, but you'll notice that that is there. Also something to point out, the seating area in this coach will be changing. This is an initial prototype, as I mentioned, so this will be changing. We're going to have a reclining sofa on your campside, and then this seating area is going to be moving over to this side. This table currently as it sits, it is not collapsible, but our next units will have a collapsible table here. So what does that mean? So this table, it does flip out, and it does give you a lot of room for both sides of the benches. But right now it's on a roller track, which it will stay on a roller track. But the pedestal on this will be a telescoping pedestal, so we'll be able to push it down and then slide it underneath the bench. So when you're not using it, there'll be plenty of walkway here. And that is specifically to give this just a multi-purpose area, because we know that you are not eating 24 hours a day. That's probably 20 to 40 minutes a day inside of your coach. When you're not using it, you're not playing board games, you can push it down, slide it underneath your sofa, and it will be out of the way. Plenty of walk room, as I mentioned. Also, one of the things that we're going to be doing on our initial run of product, we will be adding more overhead cabinets on the off camp side of this coach. So we wanted to point that out to you just so that you know what's going to be out in the field. This entry door on this coach, you'll notice, is different than anything we've installed on any of our other coaches. This is a European entry door. It's very clean. What I appreciate about this coach is it does have a built-in trash can. If you'd like to use that, you can also put your gloves in the cubby hole in the door. Has an integrated shade, and then when it's open, your bug screen is a sliding retractable one. So it's not your typical door that obstructs getting to your handle to get out of the coach. It's actually very clean and very easy to use. So this has been a look at the front of the coach. Let's flip places and I'll show you the back. Alrighty, so we're in the back end of the coach, and as I already mentioned, absolutely beautiful. Some of the things I want to talk about maybe repeat from the outside, but at the same time, I think it doesn't hurt to just reference them again. Overhead, 15,000 BTU air conditioner with a heat pump in it. You'll notice that the color of it thoughtfully goes with the inside of this coach. As I mentioned, in the back of the coach, it's a 15,000 BTU no heat pump. So enough cooling experience for you inside of this coach, coupled with the wall material. You should be able to stay nice and cool even in the hottest of climates. So you'll notice the cabinetry inside of this coach is unlike anything you've seen in other units that we've built. Some of the things I want to point out with the overhead cabinetry, a lot of storage in this kitchen area. So a lot of storage. We currently are working on different storage solutions for our drawers in particular, but then also overhead cabinets. I know one of the things that frustrates campers is we provide nice large cavities, but where do you put your stuff and how do you keep it from rattling around? And so currently working on that. Before we get into our first production run, this coach will have storage solutions inside of it as well. One of the things that we wanted to do is make this as clean of a unit as possible. So thus far in this video, you've probably not seen any controls. We hide the controls behind the overhead cabinet in the front of the coach above on your camp side. And then as we come back into the kitchen area, very clean. So the exhaust vent on this coach, first time we've ever used this, it is a hidden one. So I just hit my power button and it does go up. And then when I'm done using it, I hit my power button again and it will go down. Solid surface countertop. We will be incorporating LED accent lighting into our production run units, primarily in this kitchen cabinet area and then back in the bed step area. But as you'll notice, solid surface countertop. And then a combination cooktop here. So we've not used this before. This was developed specifically for this coach. It really gives you as the end user an option on what is the best use scenario for the current situation you're in. So what do I mean by that? If I am utilizing my shore power, so if I'm at a traditional campground and I'm plugged into a 50 amp outlet, I can utilize the induction cooktop. Or potentially that induction cooktop is going to be utilized when it just is going to be a quieter scenario. I just want to utilize this. Induction actually heats up quicker than what propane does. So those fast usage times, I'll be able to use the induction. We do have an integrated LP cooktop as well. So this LP cooktop is for when I'm not plugged into shore power and maybe I'm in the parking lot of fill in the blank, your favorite store. I can turn on my LP cooktop. Now you don't have to utilize that if you want to conserve your propane, but that is there for you to use as well. You'll notice very large storage drawers down below. Currently these are not dovetail cabinet drawers, but they will be going to dovetail joints in our first production run, so I wanted to point that out to you. But a lot of storage on our off campsite. Now as we go to campsite, everything looks clean and everything's hidden. So as I open up this cabinet, you'll notice our refrigerator inside of it. One of the things I do want to point out is this area is changing to where we're going to divide this door into two different doors. And then also as I open my top door, as I open this door itself, my freezer will open with it as well. And then when I open my bottom door, my refrigerator will open with it as well. So I want to point that out to you because we not only want it to look sleek and clean, but we want it to be as user-friendly as possible. Hidden above your refrigerator, we do have an induction microwave oven. This door and cabinet will have a safety mechanism on it so that as I close the door, it will naturally shut off your microwave oven just to make sure that you have the adequate ventilation inside. And then this upper door will be top hinged as well, so it'll open to the top. Currently, we do have a pantry inside of this coach. This pantry is growing. It'll be about twice the size that it is now. There again, dovetail joints in all of our drawers, but enough space for you to be able to put a lot of your canned goods and then cereals as well. Coming back into the bathroom. Now, one of the things that has perplexed people is, why would you create a bathroom like this? How do I use this bathroom? Use case scenarios, etc. What I do want to point out is we have a pocket door here to be able to close off our main living area. So I'm not gonna close this off because I want you to see as well. Back in this area, we have another pocket door. So all of a sudden, this becomes a private bathroom. Why do I say that? You'll see here in a moment that we designed our pocket doors in such a way to give you that private bathroom experience. Because as we come back into the shower area, you'll notice that we have an absolutely beautiful, large shower. It looks very elegant, spa-like, to where it does have a shower tower with jets on it, body jets, sprayers, etc. This does have a shower miser incorporated into it. So what is a shower miser? It's really a recirculating loop. That blue disc on that shower tower, once it turns opaque white, it means that your water is hot. At that point, I can open up a valve and it will put out hot water immediately. If you're like me, you don't like getting into a cold shower at home. At home, I let the shower run for a couple minutes. I see the steam, I get in. With this, I don't have to waste any of that fresh water from that large tank. So I can use my shower miser when that disc turns opaque white. I know it's hot water, and at that I can get in, use the wand, I can use the body jets, or even the overhead shower head. You'll notice that we do have a very nice ventilation fan inside of there. But as I mentioned, the perplexing part for some people is they see this shower door. So the shower door closes off the shower and it reveals a toilet, a lavatory, if you will. And so a lot of folks think that this door actually doubles as the privacy for the toilet room. It does not. It'd be impossible to use unless you're 3 years old, a small kid. So that's why we have the pocket doors to close off. You can lock this shower door in the back position if you'd like to travel with it this way. But a lot of folks will be traveling with the shower door covering the shower. And so utilizing this mass rating toilet inside of this room, you will need to use your pocket doors. Now, as I mentioned, this is a prototype. Our first production runs will be changing. Currently, we have a 120 volt heated towel rack in here. That will not be in our initial production run. And then also we're going to have some storage doors in here added as well. So I wanted to point that out. One of the things that you will notice is a very large lighted wardrobe with down below we have a nice bank of drawers. So plenty of room for you to be able to put your hanging clothes. And then into the sink area. Once again, a solid surface with integrated sink in it. European hardware in this. So it's going to give you a very nice high-end feel. And then overhead we have towel hangers that when in the up position, they're totally out of the way. If I want to hang a hand towel there, easily can. As I already mentioned, this overhead skylight, I mentioned it up front, mentioning it back here as well. I have a night screen to totally block off. And then I have a day screen to be able to block the bugs out, or I can even prop it up. So very nice. It is a coach, as I mentioned, a little over 31 feet long, but with that, it does give you plenty of natural light on the inside. So down below the sink, we do have storage down below. You'll have the LED backlit mirror, so plenty of lighting in this. And then going into the beautiful bedroom, this is going to be some area that we do have some tweaks, but you will notice the wallboard has carried over into this area to give you that nice quiet sleeping area. And then down below we'll be changing the steps a little bit, adding integrated light strips. And then one of the great things about this mattress is it is memory foam. And then underneath the memory foam mattresses, we do have a Froley sleep system. So the Froley sleep system was designed in Europe specifically to make minimalistic beds more comfortable to sleep in. And I can tell you this is an extremely comfortable bed. Underneath the foot of the one side of the bed, we have 2 clothes hampers in there to be able to put your clothes. Isn't that a common question when you're camping? What do I do with my dirty clothes? Just flip up the bottom section of the bed and then you'll have integrated clothes hampers. Currently on the other side, it's just a big cavity. We'll be changing that into storage drawers as well. Overhead, we do have reading lights as well as USB outlets. And then in your overhead cabinets, just plenty of storage for you to put anything you would like at all. So we have made it from the outside of the coach to the front of the coach to the back of the coach. I know that if you're watching this video, you probably saw a video somewhere of a social media influencer maybe doing a walkthrough, and maybe some of the information was vague or didn't have the right information in it. We wanted to release an official one, even though, hate to break your heart, initially this is not going to the retail public. I say that because we have a commitment with a rental company that has placed a very large order of these units to be able to utilize them in the rental industry. And folks, let me tell you, that's very important to us as a manufacturer, because this chassis has been around for, I believe, 1.5 years or so. We want to make sure that as this is released to the retail public, that we have this thing dialed in exactly as it should be. Already in meeting with the rental company, they've given us suggestions on changes that we need to make, changes that they would like to see made. And folks, we have done or will be doing a lot of those changes. Some of the changes that I've already referenced are things that we think need to change, but we will be releasing this to the general public approximately summer or fall of calendar year 2027. So if you're interested at all in renting one of these, getting an experience of this electric chassis with the powered range extender, definitely we can get you in touch with the rental company that's doing these, but we think that we've done a great job. As I already mentioned, industry exclusive. We are leading the way here at Entegra Coach in innovation because we know that change is coming. Don't worry, we still be offering our fossil fuel powered motorhomes for those of you who love those. We're going to keep building those. Those are really the bread and butter of the industry. But at the same time, we know that we need to get out on the cutting edge and developing something for not only the future, but for today. So again, my name is Cory Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. I want to thank you for watching this video on the brand new Entegra Coach Embark. And if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of us here at the factory. Specifically, call our 1-800 number. Nice receptionist will answer. Let them know that you have questions on the Embark, and they will direct you to an individual who knows about this product. Again, as I mentioned, it's not going to be released to the public initially, but that is forthcoming. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this was informative.